all is doing well. Here we are. Welcome to another Live Trader Poker Club study session. Welcome, my babies. I have missed you. Where are you all coming in from? What countries? What cities? Talk to me for a second. Let me see. Mumbai, Kenya. Wow. London, San Francisco, India, California, Wisconsin, Turkey. Wow. Lima, Bogota, Croatia. Wow. Spain. And I know we have guys, we have this. I'm actually looking at only one here, but we have this session is being done in 3 different languages simultaneously. It's unfortunate that I can't see all the other rooms, but amazing international audience as always, coming in from all over the world. How many guys, type the number 1 here if this is your first Trading Poker Club session. Type the number 1. I'm curious. Whoa. Nice. Okay. I like that. I like that. We got new babies in the house as well. Goo goo gaga. I love it. I love it. So guys, for the benefit of those who are experiencing this this session for the very first time, in my opinion, it's these sessions that offer the greatest value for your membership in the Trading Poker Club. And they also make your trading poker cards come alive, gain more depth, gives you a deeper understanding of what each one of those cards is trying to convey to you. What I've done with the Trading Poker Club cards is really isolate the most important events that any market environment or any market can deliver to you. There are a lot of things that the market can do and a lot of things that the market does, any market, right? Because they're all essentially the same. But what the cards have done is distilled down to the core events that mean something. There's a lot of things that markets do that are rather meaningless. And one of the things that I believe has made this activity we call trading difficult for people is that they don't know how to decipher what's meaningful and what's not meaningful, what's noise and what's significant. And that's what the Trading Poker cards are designed to do, to pull out exactly every event that means something, that can be acted on. And the live sessions, of course, we use these live sessions to do deep dives into a concept that makes those cards come alive. Sometimes we do a deep dive in a tactic or a technique that one of your cards represents. Sometimes it's a instead of a technique, it's just a trading theme, but each one of these deep dives builds on top of each other. So it's important that I believe it's important that you sort of keep a journal or keep notes that are specific to these sessions, and that you take these sessions that we do and you put them to work in your market play. That you don't just experience the session and say, oh, that was great, close the session down and go about your normal day until the next session next month. No, you're supposed to take that session and make it yours through use through experience in the market for those ensuing weeks. And then you come back and take another session and utilize that as a building block for your following month. And if you do that, I believe that if you put 6 to 12 of these sessions together, you're totally transformed in terms of how you see markets and hopefully how you play markets. All right. So anyway, guys, today, the deep dive that I wanted to go into was the three broad categories of elephant bars. All right. And elephant bars, I think it's important to note that the reason why we spend a great deal of time doing deep dives with different concepts surrounding elephant bars is because elephant bars represent 65% of your, let me get some a screenshot up here. Oh no, guys, 65% of your 65% of your trades. So think about this, guys. Out of every single event that you play in the market, elephant bars represent 65%. And so, in essence, that means that you could literally build your trading life around elephant bars. You know, that it's if they occur frequently enough and offer enough high odds of follow through that you can build your entire trading life simply around playing the different types of elephant bars. All right. Now, guys, it looks as though I am having some difficulty here in screening my, let me see here. I think I can do this without switching computers here. Give me just a moment. No, doesn't look like that's happening. All right, guys. So look, let me do this. I'm going to quickly switch computers. I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. All right. This will take me just a few minutes. I'll be right back. I just have to switch computers. Be right back. right, traders, I am back. I apologize about that. But here we go here. So what I was saying is that elephant bars represent 65% of your market play. And that means that you can build your trading life around elephant bars if you like. You don't have to, but it's possible. It's possible to not even go beyond playing all the different types of elephant bars. And it also means that it's imperative that you master elephant bars since they represent so much of your market play. All right. Now, let's do this here. I'm going to get up some charts for us to take a look at. And traders, these elephant bars fall into three broad categories. There are more than three types of elephant bars. What I'm saying is that they fall into three types. They fall into three categories, which is different from the types of elephant bars. All right. And so we're going to cover the three broad categories of elephant bars today. And what's going on here? Second here. There we go. You know, boom, screen time. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. Now, let's talk about those three categories. Category number one, igniting elephant bars. These are elephant bars that start a brand new move, that ignite a different characteristic in your trade. They start off something brand new. Now, out of all the categories, I believe that this one is the most important. You're igniting elephant bars, but all three of them do have a great deal of importance. But if I were to pick one of the three that I really want you to be able to identify, it's your igniting elephant bars. All right, so one is igniting, and what I'm gonna do is grab my pen up here and make sure that you understand these three broad categories. So one is igniting elephant bars. Category number two, continuation elephant bars. And number three, exhaustion elephant bars. Okay. Now, most of you should know what an elephant bar is, but let me quickly just go over the broad characteristics of a pure elephant bar. It is an elongated bar that is mostly color, which means that if it has tails or wicks on either side of the color, those tails or wicks are relatively small compared to the color portion of the bar. So it is an elongated bar that is mostly color. All right. And it's also a bar that's long enough to be on average greater than the vast majority of the bars of the same color before it. All right. So if we take a look at this fat red bar here, this elephant bar, that is an elephant bar. It is elongated. It is mostly color, which means that the wicks or the tails on either side of them are either non-existent or they're very little. Okay. And the size of this bar from high to low on average, is much longer than your most recent red bars before it. All right. Now, that means that elephant bars are relative to the stock's recent history. There's no generic formula for defining what an elephant bar is. An elephant bar for ARK might not be an elephant bar for another stock like NVIDIA. It's always relative to the most recent same color bars before. So you can only judge what an elephant bar is based on its recent past. There is no set numerical formula that you can apply across all stocks or all financial items. It doesn't work that way. All right. So we can see here that most of your red bars are smaller than this bar, giving this bar the qualification of an elephant bar. Now, this bar is also an igniting elephant bar. What does igniting mean? That it changes what the stock was doing prior to the elephant bar. An igniting elephant bar changes what was happening to the left of it. This is what was happening to the left. Now, this bar ignites something brand new, inserts something brand new into your play. It's changing the direction, changing the trend, changing the character of the stock. It's igniting something brand new. Now, here's what you need to also know about igniting bars is that they have a greater than 80% follow-through rate. Greater than 80, not 80, it's greater than 80%. Some markets, it's as high as 90%, depending upon the market environment. But this makes the igniting elephant bar one of the single most crucial events you will ever play. There aren't many things that have this high of a reliability rate. Now think about this, guys. There are algorithmic trading systems, all right, that have a 38% success rate. And they make millions of dollars, these algorithmic trading systems. 38% success rate. I'm showing you something that has a greater than 80% follow-through rate. Basically success rate. And that is extraordinarily high. And so if algorithmic systems can make a fortune off of 38% success rate, then you can do extraordinarily well with something that has an 80% follow-through rate. All right. Now, the best igniting bars, they're not the only ones, but they're born from a relatively small bar. The very, very best. See this bar before it? It's relatively small. And so your igniting bar is being born from a small bar. It doesn't mean that you need a small bar before it. I'm telling you that in this number, this is why I say greater than 80% follow through. If you got a small bar, no matter what color it is, green or red, before the igniting bar, this number goes up. And I told you that you can have as high as a 90% rate. And I will go over what almost has a 90% rate in a few minutes. But this is very, very powerful when your igniting bar, elephant bar, is being born from a little bar. All right. I've always been fond of saying that, you know, acorns grow mighty oak trees, right? And so these little acorn bars grow mighty clearing or mighty igniting elephant bars. at times. And when they do, the follow-through rate is extraordinarily high. That is what I mean by a follow-through rate, traders, is that the odds of more red to come is better than 80% on igniting bars. And of course, this is the case with green bars as well. All right. So we've got what an igniting bar is for the most part right now, right? It is an elongated bar with little to no tails on either side. It is changing the direction of what was happening to the left. This is what was happening to the left. It is changing or igniting a brand new direction. Do we got that? Make sense so far? Igniting? My responses are low here. All right. Good. Fantastic. Now, awesome. Let's talk about category 2. All right. We've got category 1, igniting. And I told you out of the 3 categories, I really want you to be an expert at identifying igniting elephant bars. All right. Category 2, continuation elephant bars. Now, this is typically an elephant bar that happens after the igniting one. So here in ARK's turn to the downside, here's your igniting elephant bar right there. Here's a secondary bar. This is not igniting, it's a continuation bar. That's a continuation elephant bar. It's not, meaning that it's not so close to the beginning of the turn. Here's the turn. It's not so close to the beginning, but it's not super far away either. It's also typically not the first elephant bar. So the first elephant bar is more of an igniting elephant bar. A subsequent elephant bar will be a continuation bar at times, as long as it's not that far from where the turn ignited. See, the turn ignited here, the turn turned there. Igniting elephant bar accelerates the turn. Continuation bar continues the move that the igniting elephant bar ignited. Now, better than 80%. Your ignitings are better than 80%. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Igniting are greater than 80% follow through. Continuation is greater. I would say you're basically going down to about 65% follow through. Still very high. Remember that guideline I gave you. Some algorithmic systems have a 38% success rate and make millions of dollars. This is still very high at 65%. Okay? So it's important to know, be able to identify what's a continuation bar too, because this can help you if you are in a trade and are experiencing a continuation elephant bar, that you still have high odds of more to go. So should you be taking profits so quickly on a continuation bar, even though this bar is continuing your profits? Or if you do, should you be using should you be using continuation elephant bars to take profits heavily? And this is a common mistake that I see traders making. They're taking too much off of the trade with a clearing elephant bar. With a continuation elephant bar. There's nothing wrong with taking some profits if your continuation bar has met a profit rule or has given you the right to take profits based on your profit-taking rules. There's nothing wrong with that. But you should not be taking heavy profits on a continuation bar because of the high follow-through rate. You will be shortchanging yourself by using continuation bars as main profit-taking bars. Okay, so if you are in the igniting bar, let's say you're in that bar toward the latter part of that bar's formation. So let's say this is a 5-minute bar we're looking at, by the way. So let's say you're in that bar in the 4th minute of the bar. You know, and you're inside of this bar, and let's say you got to stop above the bar. You're followed through with a continuation bar. Now, this bar should really not be a profit-taking bar, all right, because of the high follow-through rate. It's a continuation bar. Sometimes traders have this profit rule of, let's say, 30 cents. Now, I know this is a small stock here, but right now, but even if the continuation bar meets that 30 cents, I would probably pass on it. Even though the continuation bar gets me my first profit-taking goal, I'd probably pass on it, especially if the continuation elephant bar is the second bar. It's possible to get another continuation bar, all right, that's not quite the second bar. So for instance, in something like this, you could have this, that. So here's your igniting bar. And here is your continuation bar. Now this can get a bit subjective, but so this is one I'd be more prone to, okay, if this continuation bar met a profit goal, I'm fine with taking that profit, even though it's a continuation bar, because I've had multiple bars of the same color before me. But if it's the second bar, I probably wouldn't. I'd sacrifice that. Remember, taking profits, traders, is a right. It is not an obligation. There are certain things that we do that are obligations, but taking profits is not one of them. All right? And so that's the continuation bar. It's typically the second elephant bar in your run, sometimes even the third elephant bar in your run, depending upon position. But it's typically the second elephant bar in your run, in your direction, that makes up the clearing. And then you have the exhaustion, which can go something like that. This would be like an exhaustion elephant bar. It is an elephant bar that extends what was happening to the left of it. The igniting bar changes what was happening to the left of it. The exhaustion elephant bar stretches or elongates, exasperates what was happening to the left of it. This move has been running for multiple bars. And the elephant bar, the exhaustion elephant bar, stretches that move, extends that move. All right? All right. If igniting elephant bars are great entry bars at the end of their formation, then what are exhaustion elephant bars? Great profit-taking bars. They're great exit bars, yes. It's usually a sign that it's the last hurrah. It's not that you can't have more downside, but the velocity of the downside, if you get more, is probably going to be very different. All right. So if we continue our example with art here, igniting elephant bar, and I would have to say this is a continuation elephant bar. And this remember, that's how the bar looked at the low. That's definitely exhaustion bar. Now, in the moment, you could maybe have interpreted that as exhaustion as well. I can't fault you for that. I can't fault you for saying, I'm going to take profits here, but if you left something in, you definitely want to take profits on the next one as well. All right. So exhaustion bars tend to really, the best ones tend to occur after you have, like 4 or 5 bars before it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th red bar on the way down. That's definitely exhaustion. And I couldn't fault you for calling that exhaustion either. All right. Now, let's go over, take a look at this. So we have igniting elephants. They have a greater than 80% follow through. And continuation elephant bars, they have, let's call it a greater than 65%. Exhaustion elephant bars, they have like a greater than 35% follow through. Still not small, guys. Remember, I told you these algorithms that have 35, 38% can still make money. But you can see the continuation drops as you get deeper and deeper in the move. So because of the lower continuation rate, obviously, and how far you off are from the origin of the move, you definitely want to use elephant bars to largely exit. Okay. Okay. Fabio's asking, after an exhaustion bar, if the exhaustion bar is taken out, is that a good entry? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Right? Not always, though. Right? Just because you exit doesn't mean that the better play is now to go the other way every time. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. And a lot depends on the velocity of the move to the downside, the location of that color turn. All right. And other things, but not always, not always. All right, guys. So what would you call this elephant bar? You've only got 3: igniting, continuation, or exhaustion. Yeah, we call that exhaustion. Absolutely. Now, guys, it's possible to get a hybrid elephant bar, which means that it has igniting elements to it and continuation elements. So let me demonstrate the hybrid one, right? So the hybrid one is like this. Let's say, for instance, here's your igniting elephant bar. That's the igniting. And then you can have something like this. You see that? That has, it's not the pure igniting bar that started the move off. You see? But it has igniting elements because it's being born from a small bar. And it was a pause in the move, right? And out of that pause, you come out of that pause in the form of an elephant bar. So it's almost a reignition of the move. It's reigniting the move. It's not the pure igniting bar, but it still has igniting elephant bar qualities. It also has continuation elephant bar qualities. So this is why I'm always saying that it's great. Igniting bars are greater than 80%. Clearing bars are greater than 65%. This type of clearing bar would be more on the upper end of that range. So it would be higher than 65%. All right. And so you can have these hybrid continuation bars. Okay. Let's take a look at it's going to look similar here. So what kind of elephant bar is that? You've got three predominantly. Igniting, continuation, exhaustion. That's igniting. Beautiful. Yeah. It's not continuation here or hybrid because you're really not dealing with a former igniting bar. It's the first one. All right. So this bar doesn't really change anything. It's this one that changes. This changes the nature. This doesn't really quite change the nature yet. There's nothing wrong with having a red bar in the middle of an up move. But this changes. This ignites something different. This breaks something. Do you guys understand that? It breaks something. You can tell that's not normal. That's not a part of the normal thing that was happening to the left of it. That's what an igniting bar does. It rips apart what was happening to the left. There's your igniting bar. Now, what would you say this one is? Yes. I would say that's igniting. You know, you might get confused by this move up here. All right. And if you really call it continuation, that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, but this is really, the way I look at this is you've got this kind of, this is igniting something brand new right there. All right. That's ripping something apart. That's changing the nature of what was really happening to the left. So this is what was kind of happening to the left. And here, this bar does this. Boom. It's igniting something brand new. Yeah, you can get something here, but it's here that it's really ripping something apart and creating something new. So the solid bars that change what's happening to the left are really the special ones. This is changing what was happening to the left, right? Very special. Very special. Okay? Very special. It's changing what was happening to the left. All right. Look at what was happening to the left. Boom. Changing what was happening to the left. All right. I would have to call this a continuation elephant bar just because we're so deep into the move. Does that make sense? Continuation. And I'd have to call this one exhaustion. And we have a relief, right? This is after many red bars. And this continues the move. The elephant bar continues the move. All right. And here we have another igniting bar. It's so what you can really if you count the move from here, you're really getting. So you can imagine if I run into a trader who's buying this elephant bar, it is that deep into the move, this far away, that I'm just not going to be very happy with this kind of purchase. All right. One other characteristic of elephant exhaustion bars that I want you to be aware of is that they originate typically far away from the 20. So straight down, the origin of the exhaustion bar is far from the 20. But look at the origin of this elephant bar. It's not that far from the 20. So you can't have exhaustion here. No matter what you call that, igniting, continuation, it can't be exhaustion because the origin is too close. Now, this should help you judge what's continuation. All right, that's not close, but not super far, and this is super far. So here's would be your closer to your igniting, here would be closer to your continuation, this would be closer to your exhaustion. Now, there's some subjectivity to this, guys. I do realize that. But there's nothing we can do about that. All right. It is subjective to a certain extent, but if you get these general guidelines down, like where is the origin of the elephant bar coming from? You understand? Like, where's the origin? Is it far from the 20? All right. Or is it relatively, is the origin of the bar close to the 20? This one can be closer to igniting and this one not. Does that make sense, guys? Where the elephant bar starts its life in relationship to the 20-period moving average can help you get around some of that subjectivity. All right. Nice. All right. Now, I would say, guys, that this is an exhaustion. I would call this an exhaustion bar. It's that far off the move, the origin of the move, but it continues. Remember, it doesn't mean that the end is locked in. The exhaustion bars still have 35% follow through, which is really not that small. All right. And the stock is kind of resetting itself here a little bit. But, you know, this is an igniting elephant bar. This is an igniting elephant bar. Okay. In retrospect, that's a continuation one. This is a continuation one. This is an exhaustion one. Right, you tell me. Elijah, it would be more of a hybrid one because it's kind of reset. But yeah, I'd be uncomfortable really doing a big buy there. Okay. Igniting, yes, good. All right, cool. And I just want you igniting, right? This looks like arc a little bit. Exhaustion. This would be, I know you know that, but what would this one be? How far off the move you are. Exhaustion, good. Good, good. This one? Okay. And what would this one be? I know it fell back, but at one point it was here. Wow. This would be igniting. Good. This would be more continuation. It's after the first one. And this would be your exhaustion. What would this one be? Right? And this far off the move, that would be closer to an exhaustion, right? And what about this one? Beautiful. Now, guys, if you can do this, do you know how reliable of a trader you'd become just reading igniting exhaustions and continuations? and their distance from the 20, it's really quite amazing. You know? Let me see if I can get. Guys, give me just a moment. I'm going to take the chart off for a second here. Let me take the chart off for a second. That's me. That's not you. I just took the chart off. I'm going to put it back on. I just want to make it a little bigger. And guys, if you have to, you adjust the size of your showing, and I think your upper left-hand corner, you'll see a size option. So if the chart gets too big for your screen, just reduce the size to fit your screen, okay? You mean the exhaustion bar can be like a trap play? Ark, is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking? Well, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. Like, you know, the trap play is a new high exhaustion bar, right? That immediately gets reversed. So it traps all the people in the new high. But that's not every exhaustion bar, right? That's one type of exhaustion bar. All right, guys. So here you would see clearly that this is more of an igniting bar. It's under. This is an igniting elephant bar. It's changing what was happening to the left. Changing. All right. Your best igniting bars are going to not be that far off from the 20. All right. Some of these things, just going through to see if I can find you some. Oh, look at this beautiful igniting elephant bar. See, the origin is near the 20, right? It's beautiful. Jimmy's asking, how many lots do you play in an igniting bar? It depends. So, guys, every trader should have a minimum of 3 different lot size scenarios, right? You can have 4, which I would call the kamikaze, but you need a light, medium, and heavy size. So let's say, speaking very simply, light is 1 lot, medium is 2, and heavy is 3. And you can have the kamikaze, which is all lots. Let's say all lots are 5. And so there could be a kamikaze scenario where your risk is so small that by doing all of your lots, you're still staying within your maximum loss per trade if you stop out. That can be a kamikaze scenario. But let's say, for instance, you say igniting bars that are also clearing elephant bars originating from near the 20. That's always a heavy play. And so it's important, traders, to have size already mapped out as a part of your plan. You should not be making knee-jerk reactions in the middle of the action. Oh, I think I'm going to play this one heavy. I think I'm going to play this one light. No, this should already be decided for you. Size is planned. It is not decided in the moment. So you should have all of your plays mapped out and assigned with size. So this play is always 2 lots. This play is always heavy with 3 lots. This play is always light lots. Do you follow what I'm saying, guys? You map size out before so that you remove the necessity for any moving parts during the trade. All right. Okay. Elias is asking, how can I be heavy in a play when we're playing a big bar play? That's a good point, but you have to weigh the reliability of follow through with the increased risk of stop, right? So if you're going to stop out on a play like this, let's say you're going to stop out 12% of the time, but you're going to make money, right? 88% of the time, then the reliability of the play overrides the extra risk on the stop out, right? You have to incorporate reliability with risk. Okay. So you could have something that's low risk, but has a very poor follow through rate. So just because it has low risk, meaning you lose small when you lose, but it has a 90% failure rate, you're going to die by a million cuts because you're losing 9 times out of every 10, even though it's a small risk play. So you have to incorporate reliability and risk at the same time. A kamikaze play where you're putting everything on the line has to be where even if you get stopped out of a reliable play, your stop out is on all lots. It's still within your maximum loss per trade. Right. So usually kamikaze plays are on small range bars. We're talking about a big range bars here right now. So guys, all plays are categorized into big bar plays, regular bar plays, and small bar plays, right? And so that's very important to know and keep track of which category is doing the best versus which category is doing the worst. Like for instance, you might not be a good big bar play trader, but you might be a better small bar play trader. So what are the tactics that fall under the small bar category? What are the tactics that fall under the big bar category? And which ones fall in between? And which of those 3 groups are performing the best in your records? So that you might have to relax on big bars and accentuate little bar plays. Or you might have to relax on little bar plays like RBIs and focus more on big bar plays. But you also have to track what you're missing. This is very important because if you decide that I'm going to drop my big bar plays and focus more on small bar plays, and you're not tracking what your big bar plays are actually doing, if you did in fact take them, you're missing a big part of the game. Because what if you drop big bar plays and at some point big bar plays are winning 90% even though you're not taking them? And you should go back to big bar plays. You don't drop it permanently. You drop it as a temporary solution to stop bleeding yourself to death. But you must continue to track the plays that you see to know when to go back. And the key to knowing when to go back to something that you have removed or reduced is, are you missing a lot of money by not doing it anymore? Does that make sense, traders? All right. Awesome. All right, guys. So there you go. I'd like you to become an expert. Boom. At identifying ignitings. All right. Continuations. Okay. Exhaustions. ignitings, continuations. And if you just do this right now, remember, elephants are 65% of all plays. And if you're able to identify the 3 categories of elephants with any degree of regularity, this is going to become a very important part of your life. All right? All right, traders, I love you to death. Take this and run with it. Become an expert at identifying these things. Turn my knowledge, this information, into experiential knowledge for yourself by using it. It's still not yours until you start to use it. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Remember, we have an extended weekend if you trade U.S. markets. So U.S. markets are closed on Monday. Okay. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Boom. Okay, guys, if any of you are in the VIP Trading Club, we're going live in about 50 minutes. I'll see you there, VIP Trading Club members, okay?
Hey guys, just wanted to clarify real quick. The VIP session, it is not in 10 minutes, okay? It is at 12 New York time, so it's about in 50 minutes, okay? All right, guys. If you are not part of the VIP club and you want to be part of the VIP club, please go to VIPTradingClubs.com if you want to. But yeah, if you're in there, please disregard the 10 minutes notice. We're gonna be there in about 50 minutes, okay? Hey, Oliver.